In today's video, I talk about Chelsea taking on Wolves, an away fixture in the Premier League. And also, I'll just give my opinion on something that Mauricio Pochettino said. Um, um, I'll just basically paraphrase, but let's go straight into the video. Please like, share, and do subscribe. Now, Chelsea Wolverhampton, I think that's a good game to serve as some sort of tester to see if this team has really turned the corner. One against Sheffield United, the bottom side in the Premier League, so no surprises there. And then beat Newcastle, even if it was on penalties to head to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup or EFL Cup, however you want to call it. So that's fine, happy days. But then a tricky fixture like Wolverhampton, because in this situation that Chelsea is in, there's no team that you should take for granted. And this is the Premier League anyway. So every game, every team you come up against is a strong or tough competition, and you expect them to give you a tough test. So this game, hopefully, Chelsea is able to win, and I hope Nkunku gets to start. And finally, I also hope that it's not one of those games that at least we no longer would see CBFC. No more four centre backs. At least Martin, I think, has at least showed himself in the game versus Newcastle, that he's actually competent to play at this level. So I want to see Martin at left back. I want to see Malo Gusto. He's fit and ready to go. I want to see him at right back, and possibly see Disasi and Cowell in the middle, or Cowell and Bajashil, because I want us to give Thiago Silva a rest. He's phenomenal. He plays very well. He's a silent leader. He gives guidance to the young centre backs, to the entire young team. But then again, he's 39 years old, and you have to mind his game time. That is the reality we face. And then in the middle of the park, I want to see Enzo playing in the deep line playmaker role, and alongside Caicedo and Palmer, and either Palmer in the 10 role, and then you have I want Noni Madueke to start, but from the looks of things, probably Pochettino wouldn't start him. But I would want Noni Madueke to start on the right wing, as well as having Nicholas Jackson starting in the number 9 position, and have Mudryk building off his confidence after getting the goal that took the EFL Cup quarterfinals versus Newcastle to penalty shootouts or kickouts or penalty kicks. And then so that'll be it for me. But since I said I want Nkunku to start, I would have Nkunku in that 10 row. Yeah, I would have him in that 10 row in place of Palmer. But the way this might go, possibly would have Palmer on the right wing and have Nkunku in the 10 row and behind the striker. Now, I want to see a fast start. I want to see an aggressive start. No lazing about, because Wolves are a dangerous side. Wolves are a very dangerous side. So if you take them for granted, before you know what's happening, you've lost the game. You're 2 goals down, and you can't come back, and they start hitting you on the break, and it will be an embarrassing result. But I want to be positive going into the game. Hopefully, Chelsea can come up with a 2-0 win. I'll just say 2-0 comfortable win. Hard fought, but yet comfortable win. Now, the next thing I want to talk about will be Mauricio Pochettino's take on Oni Madueke. I think Nisa Kinsella asked him why about Noni Madueke's minutes, and then he says something. I'll just basically paraphrase. He said Noni Madueke is in a position that is the wing he plays. It's a place where we have competition for players, and so he has to be absolutely top level in training to get consistent minutes. Now, for me, that's just a code for a manager saying, "I don't like this player. I don't want to play. I don't want to play him." Because if this was in 2000 and let's say 2019, probably I could agree. But this year, this season, this campaign, no, no one has actually held held down that right wing position. No one. Not Sterling, not Palmer. Palmer, each time he has to play in that right wing, he sort of struggles because he's not an out and out winger. He's more um, he's more of a 10 to be playing behind the striker. So, and maybe you want to talk about Nkunku. Maybe Nkunku can take up that spot. But at the minute, you can tell me that someone has held that position down, and that's why Noni Madueke is not playing. I don't believe that for a minute. Why is it? And when I saw that sort of tweet, I know Fabrizio Romano also cited Nisa Kinsella. When I read the comments, I saw what people were saying, and it made me sad a bit and it made me laugh a bit because it seems to me that fans always want to believe whatever coaches say. Whatever a coach says, yeah, we're good. We believe whatever they say. But we forget that these coaches are human beings as well. So human beings, they have as humans, they have their preferences. They can make mistakes. They can decide that I just don't like this person, or they can decide this person um, did something that isn't related to football, but because he's done it, I'm going to give him a tough time. It's human nature. So each time we see coaches do stuff, we we sort of want to back them. Sort of want to believe what they say over the players because some of us think players are just mercenaries who are in the club for money. And the coaches as well, they're not here for uh, a basket of tomatoes. They're actually being paid top pounds to be to do a job for the team. And we've seen this before as well. We've seen this before with Jose Mourinho. And for me, I would say Jose Mourinho had more equity in the bank because in his first stint, he had won 2 league titles. You know, with Chelsea, he's won every domestic title with Chelsea. So he had more equity in the bank to say, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. But remember, Mourinho said Kevin De Bruyne wasn't training well. He did say that. Kevin De Bruyne wasn't training well. That's why he wasn't playing. And we all know what Kevin De Bruyne turned out to be. Same thing with Mo Salah. Now, Noni Madueke may or may not be training well, but what I'm saying is, once a manager says this type of thing, that position is sort of the competition there is too stiff. It's a top level competition. I ask myself, who exactly has held down that right wing position? Let's even scratch that. Who has actually held down both the right wing and the left wing position? Wanting to put, I said we should have Mikhailo Modric on the left wing, not because he's absolutely held down that position and he's made it his own, but to build on his confidence. He had a decent performance against Newcastle. He was able to get the goal that took the game to penalties, and then he was able to convert his own penalty as well. So wanting to build on that confidence, build on that momentum, take it into the Wolves game that will be played on Sunday. So looking at the right wing, Sterling hasn't held it down either. Even when he plays on the left, he hasn't held that down either. Nkunku just played his what is it, 10, 15 minutes or thereabout against Newcastle, so he's just coming in. And I think it would be um, a waste of his talents to play him as a right wing. I think he should play behind the striker or maybe play as a false nine. That's just my opinion. But to say that at right wing you have a lot of competition is just nonsense as far as I'm concerned. It's just the code for a manager saying, I don't want this player here anymore. I don't rate him. Because when you hear what a manager speak or say something about players, you read between the lines, you really listen and watch what they do as well. Because we've seen games where Noni Madueke has started, but the flank where he's played on has been weakened, i.e., a centre back plays behind him as opposed to an actual right back. And then, especially like in the Brentford game, we had fit 2 fit right backs on the bench. 2 fit right backs on the bench. And then After that, I think that was the only game he started. The other games he's come on 5 minutes, I think, for the Newcastle game. I think the Spurs game as well. He come off the bench, was 3 minute, 4 minutes, something ridiculous. I think the Spurs game as well. He came on for some ridiculously few minutes. So how is he meant to prove himself if he would only play him 5 minutes a game? So for me, I just think that's code for Mauricio Pochettino saying I don't like him because, and like I said, how you know when a coach says something, you have to really listen and watch what he does. He's played Madsen at right wing instead of playing him at left back, played him at right wing as opposed to playing Noni Madueke there. So for me, I want us as fans to really listen and watch. And for me, that's why I say you can't give a coach like Mauricio Pochettino absolute control. He has no equity in the bank. He hasn't won anything. The team isn't really playing to its sort of optimum, And this is a young, talented player. Young, talented player like everyone else in the team, everyone else in the squad, bar Thiago Silva. And like I said, lastly, no one has actually held down any spot in this team. So that's my review for sort of my preview to the Wolves vs Chelsea game. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your score predictions as well. Do you think Chelsea will be able to come up with a win, or are you very skeptical and think maybe Wolves would give Chelsea some sort of pounding? Hopefully, hopefully, Chelsea will be able to come up with a win against Wolves. And then I'll be my next video. I'll be giving more insight or have more discussion, share more of my opinion on the European Super League as put forward by A22 Sports, and then I'd like to know your thoughts as well. Also, in that video, I would also be talking about Pape Douada, the young that has been rumored to be signed by Chelsea, the Senegalese under 17, supposedly Wizard Kid, that Whiskey, sorry, that have been signed. I'll be giving my thoughts on that as well. So, by this point, we've come to the end of today's video, and thanks for watching and for subscribing, and I'll see you on yet another video.